side, we are all Nigerians and we are all concerned with what is going on. So I would prefer that we concentrate on solutions. And what we are saying is that we must rise to the occasion. This country cannot bow to despair. Neither can we bow to fear. People are perpetrating this. They are human beings. Senator Garuba, maybe you may wish to highlight what you saw on the video you showed me today. Please stand up and do that.
Thank you very much, the Senate President, distinguished colleagues. My name is Senator Garuba Musa Maidoki. First of all, colleagues, I am very happy and sad at the same time. Happy in the sense that the 24 girls from MAGA in my own constituency that were abducted have been released and they are all safe and healthy. They have not been molested. But distinguished Senate President and colleague, we must search our minds. As we keep saying, sir, we know who these bandits are. We know where they are. We know what they want. What is left for us to conclude? If we are going to do negotiation, do it and finish it. If we are going to fight, we'll fight it to the finish. What is the big deal? We know everything. Why are we covering? Why are we covering all these things? And I want to align myself with distinguished Senator Abaribe. Sir, the issue that must take precedence is who withdrew the soldiers from MAGA Primary School, on whose instruction. The world want to know, Nigerians want to know, we that is particularly affected, we want to know, sir. Because if we don't get to the bottom of this incident will be repeating itself. Thank you very much, the Senate President.
And distinguished colleagues, please, these are, even one human being could have spoken on behalf of the Senate. And by implication, we have spoken on behalf of Nigerians. We are, even as I speak now, we are still facing the attacks. This is orchestrated, this is organized, and this is meant to damage the image of democracy. And all these things started with just a tweet from President Trump. People are trying to justify or call on the American president to come here and attack people. And they started, any issue about war, all sides will suffer. So when somebody is talking about, then you know very well that there is nothing like targeted Muslims or targeted Christians. The bullets that are being sprayed will not distinguish who is a Muslim and who is a Christian. I want you to understand that. If we have miscreants who are going after Christians, then we go after them. We have miscreants who are killing Muslims, we go after them. Nigeria is a multifaceted religious country. We cannot come here and try to say, oh, one group is being attacked, the other group is not being attacked. What we are seeing here is an attack on all religions. It's an attack on all citizens of the country. It's an attack on the democracy of our country. It is an attack on Nigerian citizens. It's an attack on Nigerian government. So we must rise up to the occasion, debate and point out the reality. Let the world know that we want to be safe. We are not, how can we as a country choose insecurity? We cannot, and we cannot choose fear over peace. We cannot choose despair. So when we are discussing, we must take a very strong exception to certain acts that have happened, whether it's from the security agencies or otherwise. But when somebody says, commend the president for even the initiative of ensuring the release of over 58 children, one child that is released is a big relief to the whole country and to their family. 58 is something we should commend. And then at the same time, you encourage with security chiefs up to 4 hours to see how it can bring this situation to an end. And this, Nigeria is very vast, and these people are moving around, going after soft targets. So let us, and like Senator Garuba said, he said in their communities in Kebbi State that they know the bandits, they know where they stay, and they know what they want, and they are mingling with people, and that even some of the local government authorities are negotiating with them and paying the money. So these are things we must bring out and then forward to the executive. Let the executive also join us to find solution. Even the security agencies must also know that even the locals know these people and they can work with the locals to fish these people out. It's a very serious issue. It's not something that we trivialize and try to say this side or that side. That's the only problem. There's no side. There's only one side on this issue of security. Only one side. Only one side.
Speak. You went on to reinforce the sentiments expressed by any attempt by anyone to distract us from what is obviously a national issue is a disservice to our collective desire to start fighting. Mr. President, I am not ashamed to affirm that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is doing his best.
Correct.
He's doing his best. That we have not yet there doesn't mean that he has done anything knowingly, whether by negligence or lack of interest. Under your leadership, Mr. President, you have encouraged us to approve not once, not twice, special supplementary budget to support our armed forces, arising from the request of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Those requests were not meant for the armed forces to buy ice cream. It wasn't meant for them to do tobola in military nightclubs. They are meant to strengthen the armed forces, to re-equip them, to give them access to acquire modern technology, and to train, and even now, directive to recruit more men and women into the armed forces. Therefore, there can be no question that President Tinubu is doing his best. In moments like this, the devil can come in and make us so confused that we might turn against ourselves and then, by default, allow the enemy to behave as if he's happy at an upper hand. However, what I think we should do, which under your leadership, even in your statement, you have already encouraged us to come up with such suggestion, is in the light of what we now know, what can we begin to do differently and contribute those ideas to support the executive initiative? One there, for example, is, and you amplified it, even in greater details than any one of us in this house, when you revisited the statement by the governor of Kebbi State. Nigerians are entitled to know, and it is no longer national secret, the commander of that area who ordered that those men be withdrawn. It is to be a national secret to be kept within military cycle. Nigeria should know, President.
Is it the view of the Senate? Yes. That those against say no, the eyes have it. That is taken.
The penalty on terrorism. This parliament is on record as having done that. Mr. President, I am troubled when, after all the efforts that security agencies and the prosecuting authorities have to invest to secure conviction, because unfortunately the state cannot behave like a mob. So you have to prosecute, follow due process. I am troubled by the conflicting judgment by various high court judges. Sentiment of a judge, the will of the people as conveyed in a law, then the president can decide if there are reasons for him to do so, whether to commute or to reduce. How can an offense that carry death penalty, a judge reduce it to 20 years in prison? That is not acceptable. But he has violated the laws passed by the parliament. Number three, sir, and this will be the last.
Has that happened in Nigeria already?
It has.
That
somebody convicted of terrorism was sentenced to 20 years in prison.
No.
Pardon?
No.
What was it?
No, not saying no. Not saying no.
Can I be allowed to land?
you have,
Mr. President, that is the leader of Assad. They have a group.
You have 30 seconds.
A terrorist group called Assad.
You have 30 seconds to land, but please be guided.
Okay.
Let's concentrate on the issue in discussion.
I will be guided because we have to look at a holistic solution. Because these are sentiments that confuses our people. For example, somebody allegedly killed in self-defense. The man was sentenced to death. But there is no evidence that those who are, these are some of the issues we have to deal with so that nobody is given any excuse to misunderstand what is clearly a national challenge. I believe that President Tinubu inherited a situation that was already so complicated that no one of us, if we were to become president, can decree insecurity out of existence overnight. But we can begin to monitor the security chiefs. I am sure my colleagues here, you listen. When the chief of defense staff said there is what they call war economy. That was in the army, or those who don't want the crisis to end, such that, you know, we keep appropriating money, people are getting richer, and more Nigerians are being wasted. But I conclude by saying, all of us must commend the president for what he has been doing. If you see his face on television, you know that the president is not sleeping. What we need is our collective wisdom to reinforce his own limited wisdom, because nobody has monopoly of wisdom, so that together we can find a holistic solution. This situation calls for national unity. It calls for collaboration. We must not talk as Christians or as Muslims. We must not talk as Northerners or Southerners, Easterners or Westerners. It's a national challenge, and we need a national solution. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. And please, note that the prayers are multifaceted. What is happening internationally also affects us here. This renewed strength of the insurgents is as a result of the statement by the President of America that he will come in and strike to remove them. So what they are doing is also very political. They want to see how they can, and then remove the government for them. Because as far as they are concerned, what they want is government. They are not interested in the lives of the people. So as we are speaking here, we should realize that removal of government affects, in quote, both sides. I don't like to use the word both sides. So people should not think that there is any side to insecurity. There is only one side. And that side is the protection of Nigerians. And the second aspect is that we must rise up collectively behind the leadership of the country. The president must be encouraged to minimize and stamp out insecurity and make Nigerians to sleep well. You can see in a day, you can have up to 4 or 5 of these things. I just mentioned that even yesterday night. So it's not something that the same community that those children were returned, they've gone there to go and kidnap 11 people, including a pregnant woman. So we must realize that we are under attack. We are under attack. And so we can't feel safe here. To remove withdrawal of policemen, yes, for certain VIPs, they could be replaced with the civil defense. They are still armed, but not police. Police must go back to their constitutional duties immediately, while we encourage them to train more. So, distinguished Senator Yaya, I don't know whether you have anything to add, so that we can round up and go into...
Thank you, Mr. President. All I had wanted to say, one, Mr. President, was to congratulate you for having the wisdom and the presence of mind to allow this Senate to discuss these issues of national security at length. From the time when you bent over of security in this nation. Mr. President, I would also like to express our gratitude to the President and Commander-in-Chief